So I'm trying something a bit different, and this might need some explanation. Back when I was streaming on Twitch a whole lot more than I am now, which is currently 0, I played through Metroid Fusion, which I had never been. And I could think I got 6 or 7 parts through it, but unfortunately on part 4, I forgot to turn on my microphone. So that means it was just game audio. And unfortunately, nobody in chat said anything. Despite having proof that at least one person was there. Well, I don't have proof anymore. I did at the time, but anyways, I sent the video to YouTube for archival purposes. And it's just been sitting as the odd man out in that it's the one part of the stream archive for Metroid Fusion that has no me, which I would normally say is a good thing, but it just kind of bugs me that it stands out so much. So basically, what I have here is the original footage from Twitch. Since I'm not in it, I figured I would just stream myself watching myself play the game and just comment on it. It's only about a half hour, 38 minutes, so about 40 minutes. So I figured it won't take too long, and I can finally remove that no commentary part of the playlist for this game. So let us begin. And I will... And I think this is actually not my footage, but the gameplay that runs when you are just sitting at the title screen. And this is, for the record, this is running on a Wii U back when Nintendo did a little thing called Virtual Console. Still wish we could buy our games, but a lot of people did not apparently like that system, so they're doing the Nintendo Switch Online. Alright, and if you are unfamiliar, this is... Metroid Fusion was for many years the most recent game in the Metroid series. It was post Super Metroid, post Metroid Other M. Samus is sent to the planet SR388, I believe it is, with scientists to investigate the planet, which she has completely wiped of Metroid, so it's presumably safe for research. And while she's there, she happens to... Am I moving? There we go. She gets in contact with a foreign organism and makes her basically almost die, and leading to her having to wear this, I think they call it a fusion suit. And now she is able to consume the parasites, which have made their way, courtesy of her contaminated suit, onto the space station. She can consume this parasite, which are called X parasites. So this is basically we've been tasked with figuring out what the heck is going on and stopping the X parasite however possible. And this hall is vaguely interesting because I think that's the same hall. Well, this room is where you first get in contact with the Samus at full power, or version of her. The evil Samus, basically, also known as SAX, or Sax if you are musically inclined. But the other room was, I think, one of the first rooms that Nintendo showed off when they were developing this game, which, if you look at footage of this game early in development, looked very different. Samus looked very odd. She had odd proportions. the game have more cartoonish style to it, which isn't to say this is super realistic, of course. There's only so much you can do with 2D graphics. And there is our robot buddy. You've been to this data position again. Okay, yeah, he's telling us where to go. That is the unfortunate thing about this game, is at least unfortunate for some people, I should say. This is far more linear. You are told where to go. You can't backtrack as much. I know for a lot of people that is actually one of the appeals, because they want to play a game about exploration, and I brought up the Wii U pad for some reason. They want to play exploration-based game without being able to explore. And I know I just probably annoyed some people by describing it like that. Regardless, I was never a huge fan. This game is, I think Metroid Dread does exploration in a more linear fashion better. It disguises the linearity better, I should say. If only just barely. No? How do I... Oh, okay, it was a block we could walk through. But Metroid Dread does the exploration in linear fashion better than Fusion does, in my opinion. I'm sure there are people who disagree on that. Something I never really noticed at the time is how drab this footage looks, which I think is might be partially... Well, first of all, this footage does not look very high definition, even though the Super Nintendo emulation used on the Wii U was actually fairly decent. Yeah, and you'd see the map, there was a hidden item in there that I couldn't figure out. Oh, what was that? That was something. Could it be one of the most memorable bosses in this game? I think it was. Oh, there he goes again. I don't have space jump or screw attack at this point, so I just can't... I can jump high, but can't go very far. And here I'm just waiting. There he goes. Keep expecting the opponent to show up. But yeah, I think YouTube compression and just the fact that my setup regarding streaming and everything, I was forced to, and still am forced to, stream at a paltry 720p, which is probably a big reason why this footage does not look great. Is that not a missile door? I guess not, because I'm ignoring it. Data room. I think this just item recharge. Oh, I got a power bomb. Nice. Can't get back there. Gotta go forward. Not sure what I'm doing there. And this has been brought up, but it's a neat thing that the game does at this point. The SAX are... Well, Samus is vulnerable to ice because she is currently part Metroid. And Metroids are vulnerable to ice, at least in their very early stages. Just like Samus is. And so the SAX are more ice-themed, and initially they will attack her because she'll get damaged. But when the SAX when you get an upgrade, I should say, the Variasuit upgrade, I assume. You want to get more on that platform there? No, I guess not. I don't know why we just sat there on the save platform and didn't save. This is old footage, by the way, so I don't remember anything of what I was going through in my head at this point. Can't go that way. I can certainly try. Nope. Probably thought there was a breakable platform. But anyway, once the Freezy Freezy X parasites realize that Samus is no longer taking damage, they resume trying to stay away from her instead of dive bombing her, which is, as people have noted, a really neat mechanic. And I wonder if we are reaching a certain... Yes, I think we are. And there's the SAX wearing all of Samus's gear from the end of Super Metroid. She's frequently considered quite scary, but I don't really think of her as that frightening because she's scripted. It's not like she will go after you if you make yourself known. But, oh, is she actually coming back? No, I don't think so. I think it's just a step sound effect it's playing. Oh, nope, never mind, she's back. I wonder if I'm going to lay a power bomb. See what it does. No? Okay, I'm assuming that. Oh, there she is. And I corralled myself into a corner. So, yeah, she just, I guess, goes back and forth there. And as long as you don't make yourself known, she will ignore you. She doesn't show up at any point where... Okay, it's a power bomb. Even I remember that. She doesn't show up at any point where she's not programmed to. She exhibits all the same traits as the very disliked Tyrant in the Resident Evil 3 remake. Whereas I do feel like they do this a lot better with the what are they called? The Emmys in Metroid Dread, which I was a fan of. Oh, that's actually a really easy upgrade to get. Why am I going back? I wonder if now that the SAX is gone, I wonder if I'm going to try that spot here. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it looks like it should be some kind of secret, but the map is not saying there is one, so maybe I think that there is another passage elsewhere? No. I can only assume that is a trick that the developers are pulling. Hey, there's a power bomb here. Drop a power bomb. Oops, you attracted the SAX. You're screwed now. Go back 2 seconds to the previous save point. I know a lot of people had issues with the Emmys, but I liked them for what they were. I think that they could have done better at... See, a lot of people didn't like them because they're like, oh, they're too tough. But I like that. I found them easy to avoid in a lot of cases, so I was more interested in a version of Metroid Dread where the Emmys were a lot tougher. Except for the Ice Emmy. That one sucked. Because it could freeze you from off-screen, basically. Ugh. So, yeah. This is a decent Metroid game, but I would not... It's not far from my favorite. And I would put Metroid Dread above it. This might... No. Now I'm going through all the different games. I like this more than the original Metroid, which I don't think has aged well at all. And I would say don't ever play the original Metroid unless you hate yourself. Because it's kind of masochistic to play. And I like it more than Metroid 2. But I still put behind Super Metroid, the Prime games. Maybe not Metroid Prime 3. I haven't played 4, by the way. I own it, but I haven't played it. I haven't played enough of Other M to say how I feel about it. Samus Returns and another Metroid 2 remake are above this. I think I had Metroid Dread. Zero Mission is definitely above this. I think Zero Mission is a fantastic game. I do like the idea of navigating a single space, like a man-made space like this. It's such a nice change of pace from what is essentially planets and a lot of, you know, more natural environments. This is all very man-made. I think there's a way to destroy those things, but I don't remember how. I know normally you can freeze them, which maybe that's what you're supposed to do, is just bounce past them. Oh, okay. Is there a not screw attack, is there the ability to cling to the walls? Okay. Is this what I'm supposed to do? I'm guessing yes. So there are parts of this game I like. It's a nice looking game. It has... Ah, shoot. Do I just say screw it and go? Nope, I'm going to keep going. I don't know. Yeah, I have a feeling that would happen. Gotta be more in the middle. Why did I do that? You see, now I'm getting impatient. I'm like, come on, unfreeze. Maybe I was just seeing if hitting them with an arm missile would unfreeze them. Good aim. Oh, I don't... Oh, wow. I can't believe I... No! I am very likely assuming that that was my exact reaction when that block broke. I was like, no! Well, let's see if I resort to doing a save state just to try that last jump again. Nope. Too much work. Alright, now that I got that power bomb that I never use for anything other than... See, I'm trying to see if I can kill him. Yeah, I never use a power bomb for anything other than puzzles, so... I don't think... That thing that was flying around in the background, I don't think I fight that this stream. I think that comes a little bit later. But I could be wrong. You visit these areas a few times. Usually twice. Oh, there it goes again. Although I can't remember what else you might fight in this. This is not the area where you fight the box. I don't think it's the area where you fight that weird ball creature that shows up in Metroid 2. I don't remember any of the other bosses except for the last boss. Well, 2 of them. Ew. Looks like that thing just craps on you. Am I going to look for the... whatever's in here? It's probably in the ceiling. Yep. What am I doing? Did I not notice the thing in the upper right? Or... Okay. What am I... Oh, am I... Oh my gosh. This was not my best moment. Luckily, I have that. The ability to scale. There's no canon reason why Samus gets the ability to grab onto ledges in the remake of the first game, and then loses that ability for like, what, 7 more games, and then suddenly gains it back in this. I guess it's just one of those gameplay and lore segregation things. Talk to Adam. Is there a reason you can't tell the information right now? Her ship has soundproofing. I will say, this, you can see the little border I made for this, which is just one of the pieces of promotion art that I just kind of cropped a square rectangle in the middle. But this game has fantastic art. It has a very almost comic booky look to it. You can see I'm trying to pretend I'm Samus looking around. And then Zero Mission would really do the comic booky look to it. Oh, okay. You can just jump over them. Oh, who's that? It's not the original Ridley, that's for sure. This game, I feel like more than any other Metroid game, really messes. Like, you have that one boss I was mentioning flying around. You have the X copying the Ridley corpse. And then you have the SAX a number of times. This game does a really good job at just kind of building up future bosses, which I don't think any of the other games do. And if they do, it's nowhere near this level. Although, Samus Returns does a little bit with the Digger boss. You encounter that a few times before you actually fight it. And then there's a few instances in Dread where they do that. Why am I here? What am I doing? I'm shooting these things, but I don't... Why am I have no reason to be here. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm just going to ignore the... Ah, okay, never mind. Problem with watching myself is I don't remember jack of what I did. Fun fact, this is the first Metroid, 2D Metroid game developed without cooperation of Intelligent Systems. They co-developed the original Metroid and Super Metroid, and saying that, I realized that I don't think they were involved with Metroid 2, so my fun fact is actually a big fat lie. Wow, this stream was just all sorts of a mess. I didn't have any audio of myself. The fragmenting of the video just looks terrible. My bitrate on Twitch must not have been good at that time. Alright, Adam, what you got for me? The main silo of the reactor has gone offline. That's why all elevators and stations are down. Elevators and hatches won't work. If you get to this point, you might be able to start the auxiliary power. Is this? Yeah. By the way, I asked you, some strange creatures have boarded your ship. Oh, okay, that's why. So yeah, we did save the animals, which I'm sure will make plenty of people in Games Done Quick unhappy. If that reference means nothing to you, then I assure you there are plenty of resources online that will explain it. When all else fails, use a power bomb. Think we're about to face a boss? Wow, that's a big room. I'm trying to fill out the map, I assume, when I jump past some of those things. Or maybe I just don't know where I'm going. Who knows? Oh, right. Power's out. You know something's going to happen. This room is too big for it to just jumping around. So and the music is feeding into this. There's this anticipation. You're like, something is going to attack. Something knocked out the power. Something created all these vines. I don't know why I'm not just jumping on that platform. There we go. Took me long enough. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's the space pirates. Or at least the X versions of them. This is the vanilla flavor space pirates. They have a few variants throughout the... You can see a little delay there because I'm like, something's going to happen. No, they're just giving me an item. And now they have a few variations of the space pirates, which I think in the original Metroid, or I don't know, somewhere they explain that it's because the space pirates are into genetic modification to fit whatever planet they are currently inhabiting. So the 2D games typically involve Zebes, and so we get this flavor of space pirate. In Metroid Prime, we're on... Boy, I can't remember what planet that is. That's sad. But we get that flavor, and then later on we get another flavor in Metroid Prime 2. And then another flavor in Metroid Prime 3. Which I believe is the same flavor that we see in Federation Force, which is, by the way, another game I would put below this game. I played through Federation Force 2 years ago? Solo? I imagine playing online. Does that game have online? Well, I imagine playing it multiplayer would be better, but boy, solo is just... I wanted to give that game a fair shake, but yeah, it kind of is. It's not very good. Which is a shame because the developer, Next Level Games, I believe it is, does make good stuff. They just got saddled with what is probably not a very good project in terms of what they want to do compared to what they were available to do. Like, I'm sure they had plenty of cool ideas for a multiplayer Metroid game, but then somebody was like, no, let's make it mission-based, and it's like, oh, no, that's not Metroid. Oh, I think I remember this boss? Oh, yep, the spider. I think I might die a few times here. Never cared much for this boss. It's basically, it reminds me of the boss, the first Sigma boss in the original Mega Man X. Except for just kind of worse. Yeah, because it grabs you and does a bunch of damage. And then slams down. And I think what you'll find is that I'm just not good at recognizing patterns to avoid getting hit. I'm willing to tank a few hits to try to kill it. Kill it faster, I should say. I do like that one of his eyes is messed up. That's a neat little touch. And it's damaged, so... Oh, I'm going to get caught, and I think that's it. Oh, pretty darn close. Oh, it got me again. Samus without her Zero suit. Oh, right, and that's the sucky part about this. You have to go back. You can't save, so you have to do this all over again. I wonder if I'm going to make a save state, because this sucks. I think I didn't talk to Adam. I just saved or something. Yeah, wow. You can't save. They force you to go through the story spiel. You have to go through that whole little tedious area with all that bombing, the locations. This section is probably among the worst areas in the game. I always find it odd. Is the implication supposed to be that Samus's suit is moving? Like it's almost organic? Okay, so... Why did I decide to listen to it again? I must have been insane. Cute little touch having that one get in front, directly in front of the camera. If Metroid Fusion was developed at the point where... I'm sure I did not mean to do that. If it was developed at the point where Games Done Quick was a thing, and Super Metroid runs and save the animals versus kill the animals were a thing, I'd almost imagine that the fact that the animals are stowing away on your ship and there's not a damn thing you can do about it to be a reference to that. I can almost imagine Nintendo being like, nope, you're saving the animals for making you. You have no say in it this time. Yeah, the fact that they give you an energy tank at the beginning of all this, and then the eye monster just before the boss completely heals you, makes me think that even Nintendo knew that this area was kind of crap. What am I doing? Oh, I think I'm trying to find another. Oh, okay. Huh. I don't remember if I got that first time around. Not sure what I'm doing. Did I think that block wasn't there? Was I trying to grab a non-existent ledge? Here we go again. No, I'm not going to make a save. Oh, no. This is when I could still get very angry at games. So I imagine that the run back was not good. Were they inspired by Dark Souls? Was Dark Souls out at this point? So they're like, okay, we're going to give you a lame boss, and oh, you lost? Well, have fun doing the run back. It takes so much health away, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Yeah, I think at that point it was just like, yeah, just grab me and end up. I hadn't even changed his color. Here or there, it just got really unlucky. Yeah, even I think at this point I was going, why did I not make a save state before this? And then probably cursing that there isn't gameplay rewind like we get on Switch. That would make this a whole lot easier, that's for sure. Either that or I had to walk away, but I usually have a separate little graphic for when I have to pause the stream. So let's see. Oh, we're almost done anyways. So at this point, it's probably me saying thanks for watching. And I'm going to say the same thing. Thank you for watching this experiment. I don't know if it's worth a damn, but it will become the next official part of this part 4 of my Metroid Fusion stream archive. So there's that. Yeah, I think I was just like getting angry at this point. Just said, yep. That was it.